If you want to know how I made this, stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm DIY Nisa and welcome back to my channel. Okay, let me go ahead and throw out my disclaimer. So my channel is more of talk through DIY tutorials as opposed to me showing you step by step how I made practically all of my DIYs or items that I create based on my own personal custom measurements, and a lot of times I will make something as I go, but my goal here is to share with you my ideas so that you can take them and turn them into something custom and great for yourself. So now that that's out there, let's get started. Here's what you're gonna need. For your power tools, you're gonna need a jigsaw. You're going to need a circular saw, a drill, and drill bits. For your wood supplies, you're going to need a long and wide piece of plywood or particle board. And for the remainder of your supplies, you're going to need nails. You are going to need something to create your shelves with. You're going to need 4 L brackets in white. And for the background color, you can do one or two things. You can go to the thrift store and find a white sheet and staple that sheet on to your board, or you can get some paint and just paint it. Step 1, go ahead and take your board outside. The length of your board is going to be determined by how many shelves you want. So go ahead and measure out the distance between the shelves that you want. For mine, I only wanted 2. Next, you're going to go ahead and cut your board to length. Once you cut your board to length, you're going to go ahead and make the arch at the top of the board. And the way you're going to do this, or the way that I achieve this, is I take a flexible PVC pipe, one of those like little bendable blue PVC pipes. I take one of those and bend it into a semicircle, and I make sure that I'm bending it so that it fits on the particular width of board that I'm getting ready to cut. So how wide you want your board and how long you want it is going to depend on the look that you're going for and the space that you want to put it in. Once you work out the semi arch shape that you want for the top of your board, go ahead and trace it, and then you're going to take your jigsaw and you're going to cut around that trace line and cut it out. After you cut it out, go ahead and give it a good sanding. You can use whatever sanding tool that you have on hand. Next, you're going to go ahead and attach your L brackets for the legs. You're going to do that for both sides, placing one on the front and one on the back on each end. Make sure you drill your pilot holes, and that's going to prevent your wood from splitting. Now this next step, which is either painting the board or covering the board, is going to be your personal choice. I personally chose to cover my board with a white sheet that I got from the thrift store. I found that it gave me a very professional and smooth look, and I didn't have to wait for drying time. So this part is going to be up to you. So all you're going to do is, if you choose to cover it, you're going to make sure that you're covering the board, pulling it tight to give it a seamless look. If you don't want to do that, then make sure you paint it, and you can use whatever color you want to use for your covering. I chose white for mine. Alright, so next it's time to put the shells on the board. Now my shells gave me a run for my money because I wanted my shells to have a floating shelf look, and I just basically had to figure out how to do that. Plus, I didn't want any of the stuff that I used underneath to show from the front of it. So when you standing in front of my board, you only see the shells and not what I use underneath to put them together. So for my board, I used cardboard and foam board because I didn't want to affix anything permanent to mine, because I want to be able to use this again and use it for different uses. So if I ever want to recreate this again, then I could just take my templates and make my shells and redo it again. So basically what I did was, after I figured out how to get the shelf onto the board and to get it to look the way that I wanted it to look, I just took the little gift tissue paper, and I wrapped my cardboard in the gift tissue paper as opposed to painting it. Then I hot glued it on top of the little brackets that's underneath that I made out of cardboard as well. And once I hot glued it and made sure that it was glued and stuck together and dried and sturdy, I took a piece of white foam board, measured across the front of it, cut it to size, and then hot glued it to the front. And last but not least, you're gonna adorn your precious little cute display with some decorations. You could put balloons on it. This is stuff that I already had on hand, so I used what I had. And this is the final look of what my little drink wall looks like. The awesome thing about this is the back of it is wood, so it is sturdy enough to put balloons, drape balloons on it, and a combination of balloons and like a little drape like you see on mine. You can use both of them. So I'm using my board to display these cute little drinks that you see on here. I'm using mine at a tea party for my granddaughter who's turning 8 years old. But it can be used to display treats, trinkets, like whatever you want to put on there. Well, alright guys, this concludes the video. If you decide to recreate this, leave it in my comments and let me know how yours came out. I wish there was a way to put pictures in the comments, and if it is, let me know in the comments how to do that. But see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all be blessed.